and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome to Barca's final game of 2021. And I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in right throughout the year. We've had so many match previews, we've had so many match reviews, and honestly, it has been a turbulent year, both on and off the field for Barca. There has been highs and certain lows as well, but can we sign off here? Can we end this year with a massive result in such a tough stadium against Sevilla? We would need to produce a performance that we haven't seen from this team in such a long time. But what a boost that could give us if we could make it possible heading into the new year with so much belief. For one final time this year, let's get to it. Come on. Because certainly there is festive spirit in La Liga this midweek. There are plenty of big clashes coming. Not only Barca's trip there to face Sevilla, but also Atlético Madrid travel to Granada. And look at that there. Real Madrid travelling to San Mamés to face Athletic. And they have a number of absentees. And of course, Barca coming into this game, we're going to take so much confidence from our victory over Elche. The first half performance was so promising. The amount of quality our young players are providing right now. They are growing in stature with every game. But above all else, it was the 3 points that was absolutely huge, because when you look at the league table, on the weekend, Real Madrid, Real Betis, Atlético Madrid and Real Sociedad all dropped points. They were all slipping up, and we were there with our win. And that's what we need to do. We need to make sure that when others fall down, that when others slip up, we are right there behind them. Keep the pressure on, and this game, it's huge. And indeed, when you are looking at our opponents on Tuesday night, Sevilla are an absolutely formidable force this season in La Liga. They're the second best team, and that's on merit too. They played some brilliant football, and I actually think they should be even closer than they are to Real Madrid. And also at home, they have a phenomenal home record that actually ranks as one of the best in the entire world of football this season. And I think that kind of quality from them has certainly been proven over the past few match days, particularly there when you're looking at the big games they've been involved in. The derby against Betis that they won. Of course, they just missed out the Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, but that game could have easily gone another way. Sevilla could have won that game. They beat Villarreal, they beat Athletic Club, and especially on Saturday, a statement win against Atletico Madrid. And of course, we know all about Sevilla. We know that when we come up against them, it's always a really tight battle. There's going to be a great atmosphere in there tomorrow night. You think back last season to our Copa del Rey meetings against Sevilla. We had to come from behind and really rescue ourselves on the way to that title. And who could forget Ousmane Dembele's clinical touch at the Sanchez Pizjuan? We will need that kind of quality tomorrow if we're going to get anything from this game. Because when you are looking at the kind of lineup that we are going to come up against, what you will notice from Sevilla is the two quality centre-backs they have there. Diego Carlos, and in particular, Jules Koundé has been magnificent once again this season. They've got a good midfield there. Rakitic scored an absolute stunner against Atletico Madrid at the weekend. And particularly, look at those wingers. I think Papu Gomez from the left-hand side, of course, he loves to cut in as well on his right. Ocampos is really recapturing his best form again in a Sevilla shirt. And if I had to pick out maybe two areas of weakness, I think at centre forward, they don't have El Naziri back just yet from injury. That has certainly been a blow for them. And at left back too, that is maybe one of the areas too that hasn't been so consistent this season for Sevilla. And again, you'd be looking at Dembele to really try and hurt them on that side. But of course, when you are looking at our own game, one thing that we're absolutely sure on is that obviously our defence is not so good right now. We are shaky, we are conceding shots, we are conceding goals, and certainly against Sevilla, they're going to test us. And the one man that we really do need to step up and really give us a performance, Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. Now, earlier on today in the press conference there, Xavi came out in ultimate support of Ter Stegen. He backed him there, he gave him a lot of praise, a lot of support, as maybe you'd expect in the public eye. He praised him on the ball, his distribution, all of that kind of stuff. But Xavi did say Ter Stegen knows he has to improve in goal. And Xavi is referencing there the saves that he needs to make. And against Sevilla, we are going to need that between our sticks. I would look as well at the other end of the field, and especially there, Ferran Jutgla. I think against Elche at the weekend, he was a breath of fresh air. In that number 9 position, he truly, truly was. And for me, he has to start again. For me, Xavi in this game, he's got to be brave, he's got to be bold, as he was against Elche, and say, you know what, Jutgla, you can go out there and do it again. Because the movement that he was making, his combination play was really good. Him and Gavi had a really nice understanding. And there was runs there that we hadn't seen in that number 9 position all season long. Things that at Barca you need to happen. Jutgla was an example of how that can be done, and I really do want to see him again. However, something interesting did come out of Xavi's press conference today, and why maybe starting Jutgla could mean that another Barca B player may not be able to be included in Xavi's lineup, because Xavi in his press conference confirmed that he could only field 3 Barcelona B players in his lineup at any given time. He says that they're due to La Liga rules. If he were to field 4 Barcelona B team players at one time and then a first team player got sent off, Barca, because of the La Liga rules, would then be forced to forfeit all the points they'd gained from that particular match, and that is why we can only have 3 out there at any given time, which may indeed explain why, at the weekend, remember, Nico was left on the bench. Surprisingly there, Nico Gonzalez did not start for Xavi. It was Jutgla in the lineup, and then when Nico came on, Jutgla came off. So that there was an example of how yet another La Liga rule is hampering Barca right now. Xavi called it a very stupid rule that is limiting young players growing, and I completely agree. And that is certainly going to impact Xavi's lineup. And coming into this game, when you're talking there about shape, when you're talking about formation, and especially in those fullback areas, Xavi made it very, very clear before the game that Serginho Dest will not be involved once again. He did make it clear, though, that it is simply a physical problem and nothing more than that. He doesn't have any issue personally with Dest, but he basically said, look, he's not ready to play. He's got a lot of issues right now. He's in some pain, and he is not going to be involved here, which means, I think, again, what we're going to see from Xavi is something similar to what we saw on Saturday. With Ter Stegen, based on those words from Xavi in his press conference, he is definitely going to keep his place in goal, and I really do hope we can see some better performances from him. Araujo's going to be on that right side of the defence. I think Gerard Piqué is almost certain to come back in, and probably in place of Eric Garcia, because I think their long lay is going to start once again, because Xavi seems really, really keen here to have that left footer, to have somebody there who can play out from the left-hand side, and long lay probably is above Titty for him right now. But I think Jordi Alba, I think his role in this game has to be a lot more disciplined than what we saw against Elche, because against Elche, he was actually everywhere. It wasn't just about being on that left-hand side, it wasn't about being a wing-back. At times he was like a winger, at times actually he was like an attacking midfielder. He was all over the place, but that also meant that Elche could expose that left side, and especially with Ocampos, we cannot afford to give Sevilla that kind of room. In midfield, I would expect exactly the same setup with Busquets, with De Jong, with Gavi in there. I would say certainly that I'd love to start Nico, but then you've either got to take out Jutgla, or you've got to take out Abde, or you've got to take out Gavi. So Nico right now, until someone is promoted to the first team, he is going to miss out from this team at the moment, because up front, it has to be Dembele, it has to be Jutgla, and it has to be Abde. Those are 3 players for me that can hurt Sevilla. They can hurt any team with that pace, with the quality they have, and I want to see that movement again from all 3 of those players to cause as much chaos as possible. But what do you think, guys? What is your gut feeling going into this game? I've got to say, when I'm looking at the predictions here, this is a lot more in favour of Barca than, honestly, I was expecting. 33% in favour of Sevilla, 50. Half of you believe that Barca are going to win this game, and I really don't know. Honestly, guys, sitting here right now, I would love us to win. I would love nothing more than to end the year with a victory, and this is such a tough place to go. My heart says that we could do it, that we could actually here snatch a win, 2-1, 3-2, maybe a high-scoring game, but maybe we could come out on top. My head says that maybe it could be a draw, maybe it could go the other way, but because I want to have hope, because I want to have some faith here that we can do it, I'm going to go 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1 Barca to beat Sevilla. Please make that happen. So please, guys, do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on everything that you are expecting from the final match for Barca in 2021. What are your score predictions? And most importantly, how would you line up if you were Xavi? Let me know that down below, guys. I will see you tomorrow for the massive game that it is. Thank you again for joining me and for all of your constant support throughout the year. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça!